Hello everyone. Today I want to talk about the common but risky clause in commercial contracts here in China, something known as the back-to-back payment clause. So what is it? A back-to-back clause usually appears in contracts involving suppliers, contractors, and developers. It means the buyer only pays the supplier after they themselves have received the payment from a third party, typically a project owner or developer. In short, it is the we pay you only when we get paid clause. Sounds fair? Maybe, but let's look at the risks, especially for suppliers. 1. You might not get paid on time or at all. The biggest issue is that as a supplier, you have no control over what happens between the buyer and the third party. Whether the buyer gets paid depends on many unpredictable factors like how the project is progressing, any quality problems, disputes, or even financial difficulties. And if the buyer does not get paid, you won't get paid either. 2. You can claim money directly from the third party. Even though your payment depends on the third party, legally speaking, you have no contract with the third party. You only signed with the buyer. That means you have no legal right to go after the third party if things go wrong. 3. Going to court is difficult. Sure, you can sue the buyer, but they will likely say, sorry, we haven't been paid yet. The clause says we pay you only after we get our money. And here's the tricky part. It is very hard for the supplier to prove whether the buyer had been paid or not, or if they are just deliberately delaying things. Let's share a real case to illustrate how back-to-back clauses can play out in practice. In 2020, a small company, let's call it Company A, signed a supply contract with Company B, a contractor. The contract had a back-to-back clause saying A will get paid based on how much B got from the project developer. A delivered the goods, but B only paid 60% of the payment. Why? The developer ran into financial trouble and didn't pay B. B then stopped the project, left aside, and sued the developer. Meanwhile, A had to wait and wait. So A took B to court to claim the remaining payment. At first, the court said the clause was valid. A had agreed to the risk, and B wasn't intentionally blocking the payment. However, the appeals court took a different view. It ruled that even if the clause was valid, it did not give Company B the right to delay payment indefinitely. Company A has completed its part nearly 2 years prior, and the Company B had already quit the project site. The court concluded that the payment deadline had long passed, so Company B was required to pay the remaining amount. The case highlights the risks involved with the back-to-back clauses and offers some practical advice. If you are a supplier, try to avoid back-to-back clauses if you can. These clauses shift too much risk to you. If you cannot avoid, negotiate better terms. For example, set a maximum deadline. Like, even if the buyer hasn't been paid, it must still pay me within X months. 2. Keep evidence. This includes records of payments, third-party communications, and any signs that the buyer may be at fault for the delay. 3. Train your team. Make sure your staff can spot and understand these clauses before signing anything. And for buyers, it is important to know that although back-to-back clauses can reduce your own risk, courts may sometimes rule these clauses invalid in lawsuits. Starting August 27, 2024, the Supreme People's Court issued a clear ruling on the validity of such clauses between large and small or medium-sized enterprises.
Oh!
To sum up, back-to-back clauses might seem harmless, but they can still leave suppliers stuck, delivering goods or services, but waiting endlessly for payment. So always read the fine print, think ahead, and protect your cash flow. Thank you for listening.
Your reliable lawyer in China.